comic books or I'll kill you. I don't care if the Hulk could defeat the Man of Steel.
I come to punish the wicked, but also to save the innocent. This was my world once. Time to become part of it again. Time to find the one responsible for the eruption of Vesuvius that started all this. Oh, you thought that was just an everyday natural disaster. As I said, monsters are real.
Yeah, you want the comic book?
Yeah, honey, I don't know, I just got the message. Yeah, D&B Investigations wants us on. I didn't do anything wrong, I swear. I didn't do anything wrong, I swear. I didn't do anything wrong, I swear.
Yeah, look, I'm reporting from CG Arctic. There ain't shit happening up here. I'm not getting any frickin' books. What the hell is going on out there? The fucking COVID opening up all the damn shipments. You know what, I tell you what, man. You guys just send me something. Send me some books up here in the Arctic, because there ain't nothing getting through. You know, the postman, he just says he ain't getting nothing through. What the fuck is going on in this fucking world?
I have lived too long. I have seen man emerge from the caves into the light and struggle to survive in the hardships of a brutal world. I've seen empires rise and fall, countries united and in chaos. Seen good men suffer whilst the wicked prosper. I've gazed into the eyes of evil and taken its measure. I've seen so much I wish not to. Let no man tell you immortality is a gift. All I have loved has died before me and crumbled to dust in my hands. Anywhere I called home has been ravaged by the ages, burning under time's relentless march forward till nothing remained but a whisper of what may have been. I am alone, so tired. I want to die, but that's not my choice to make. Footsteps. He is walking into the alley behind me. I knew he would. Evil knows evil. His pace quickens. He will be on me in moments. I will not react. Yet. Then the violence starts.
Your f***ing money now. Got you, cut you, f*** you up.
He spits the words with rage and threat, intended to induce terror. I just smile. He never really had a chance.
Just like to point out, mature readers only. I would definitely not recommend this book for children.
No, do not.
And oh my god, I read Cluster Fudge 1 today. That's why I was running late. And I loved it. I actually was just going to give it a quick read before the stream, and I ended up reading it twice.
Real Matt Martin. I read my copy of Cluster Fudge, then left it on the subway for others.
I did. I really enjoyed Cluster Fudge. It was extremely dark, which I had been warned about because I had listened a little bit to the well-read review at the time.
I listened to it all.
It was beautifully intense.
Wiggle is not looking forward to this review. This was an unusual choice for a book to review. Apparently a lot of people are surprised that we decided to go with Cluster Fudge. What did you think when you were first reading through Cluster Fudge? Were you taken aback by some of these character designs? What did you feel were the motivations for their artistic representation?
I think there's probably some borrowing from Nietzsche, if I'm honest. Some Napoleon and Dionysian duality going on.
I guess if we're describing the first impressions, I was actually surprised and kind of taken a bit aback, because if you know anything about Chris Tomovich, he is a conservative Christian, but Cluster Fudge was not the book I was expecting it to be. I was expecting a sort of, wholesome golden age sort of story, but it wasn't that at all. Yeah, well, it's certainly intelligent. I was actually surprised.
Far more intelligent than anything we've ever reviewed before.
But I was kind of getting almost like a Watchmen sort of vibe from this book, in that it's the Cluster Fudge hero is almost like a golden age sort of hero, but it turns into a deconstruction.
Yeah, I would say Cluster Fudge is like some sort of drug addict's fever dream. If you told me someone on LSD wrote this, it would make sense, but it's kind of way out there.
He's suicidal, he wants to die, his wife died of cancer, and now he just wants to be relieved of his life. It is very much like a drug addict's fever dream.
He's evil from the very beginning. The first frame, he's evil because he's stabbing a kid, he spears a kid. He's not a good guy, he's a government agent. He works for the federal government. So they send him all over the world. He's not a hero.
Oh, it's just this book's really dark. Very, very dark. Probably the darkest book we've ever reviewed on this show.
It's pretty fucked up. This guy's not an anti-hero. He's a villain. In my opinion, he's a villain.
Yeah, it would be like a villain who just happened to work for a government and has some power, so he can't die.
I loved it. I actually was just going to give it a quick read before the stream, and I ended up reading it twice.
you looking for something exciting to read while you enjoy some sugary cereal?
Yeah!
Then grab a copy of Mighty Mascots from Alterna Comics! Born from the ashes of a disastrous 3D printing accident, 8 living advertisements have banded together to right the wrongs of this world, led by a former child star. These unlikely heroes are freaks to some, but you will know them as the Mighty Mascots. The miniseries is 3 issues, full color, and printed on glorious newsprint. This is the fun superhero series that you didn't know you needed. Created and written by Keith Gleason, featuring artwork by Ian Morianto, and colors by Anton Bondi.
Ahoy, I can't wait for more!
Mighty Mascots is part of your complete breakfast and comic book reading experience. Only from Alterna Comics.
Super Asia Fun Doing!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Diana Reno show. That doesn't have a very good ring. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Ha. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very brand new show called... Welcome to the Demo Diana show. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see her first ever demolition of Larissa's area. Pan.
I panned.
Cool. So, let me just show you. I take my job and my work very seriously. So I went to Walmart because that's where I like to shop. I picked me up a handy dandy Superwoman toolkit in a beautiful shade of pink. I got all my stuff in here. I am so excited. I am so excited. So, in this handy dandy tool thing, I have a measuring stick, so I'll always measure up. Yeah.
That's your balancing rod.
It's a measuring stick.
It's a balancer.
It still measures, but it's balancing, but it's measuring. Why must you? Don't mess with me.
Hey, you, sci-fi fan. Are you finally ready to have your head explode? Never before seen sci-fi action. A strange new world. Exotic technology. Kick-ass characters. And a story that will turn your mind inside out. Nephilim Squadron, Volume 1. Available now on Indiegogo.
Crazy face. Just pick a face and call a voice and let Crazy Face do the rest.
I do not stand by in the presence of evil.
I do not stand by in the presence of evil.
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for. and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Can somebody take the slide? Where's the? Oh, are we on? We're on. Oh, we're on. We're on. Hey, it's me. It's Marmalade. And yeah, well, it's time for my show again. I'm gonna have to hire some new people to do the show from now on. That's why we're a little late. That's why it's a little weird. But I can only pay $5 a week, so that's what I got.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, it's a raven! No, it's a plane! Wait, this is the wrong hero. Oh well, it may be the wrong hero, but he does all that anyways. This is the Canadian Shield!
A 26-year-old co-daddy.
Audio Jungle.
Oh, aren't you an indignant
Those people. I'll be very loud about it. Those people.
You are gleefully grinding your hands like some sort of Machiavellian supervillain.
That's a good strategy. It'll go very well for you.
What? The people that need to get help are the people like you!
That was great shit. Great job, Vicky and DA. I didn't know what Vicky and DA were for, but now I do. That video was great.
Hello, everybody! This is Soy Rage, and welcome to my campaign, Creepsters. While digging for buried treasure on Perdita Cove Beach, a 12-year-old Max discovers a mysterious creature named Chomper, whose friends will lead him to a world of danger, adventure, and heroism. When Chomper's siblings wreak havoc in Max's seaside town, only Max and his new friend can save his sister Emma and the town by combining forces to fight the sinister creepsters that wash up on the beach after an alien object splashes down on the ocean offshore. Creepsters is a loving tribute to the 1980s high concept, low budget comedy horror. A fast-paced story filled with romance, gore, fantasy, and a touch of science fiction that is a blood-soaked adventure which ultimately proves that family and friendship can overcome any obstacle. And be sure to order today on Indiegogo. Back Creepsters, coming to a town near you.
That's sick!
Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Yeah, you want the comic book?
just like to point out, mature readers only. I would definitely not recommend this book for children.
No,
you're not.
And oh my god, I read Cluster Fudge 1 today. That's why I was running late. And I loved it. I actually was just gonna give it a quick read before the stream, and I ended up reading it twice.
Real Matt Martin. I read my copy of Cluster Fudge, then left it on the subway for others.
I did. I really enjoyed Cluster Fudge. It was extremely dark, which I had been warned about because I had listened a little bit to the well-read reviews.
This is a whole bunch of self-promotion, isn't it? I listened to it all.
Yeah. It was beautifully intense.
Wiggle is not looking forward to this review.
So I suspect everybody here has probably already heard this.
Yep.
So how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. And how are you, you crazy person, you?
I'm very excited.
When did you do this video reel thing? I've been busy all day.
I've been doing this, honey. I've been doing this for weeks. I've used most of that footage last week.
Yeah, but that bread sandwich thing, that was weird. That was creepy weird. And I don't know, there were some things that, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to you.
Creepy weird.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was creative. I thought it was inspirational. Who doesn't love a talking piece of bread?
Me.
Hello, Tim. Hello, Terry.
Hey,
hello,
everybody.
Mr. Webbs. Who else is here? Hello, Diana.
Hello.
Back. Just in case I missed anybody. Hi, Bryce, if you're still here.
Yep.
Anyways, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cluster Fudge final evening. How much time do we have left, Diana? Do you even know?
I do not actually know. It says
7
hours.
7
hours. So that actually brings us to Monday. I think it officially closes on Monday.
Well, yeah, technically, but this is the last show we're doing before our next show.
Right, because we will be at work tomorrow when it actually closes. So 7 hours, it's right after midnight.
You guys have 7 hours to jump on. There's a package remaining with the original art from the new Cluster Fudge cover. And guess what? If nobody claims it, all the people who got a physical package will be in a drawing to see who gets it, because it's not staying in this house. I am sending it out to the people. The people have the power. Hello, Bryce.
Hello. Which one exactly was that? The innocent one? I didn't get that.
That was a fan piece I did of the Creepster monster.
Ah, yes. Okay. It's all coming back to me now.
I can show you.
That's all right.
Hey, look did you see who it was?
Where? What? Right there. Who is that?
I don't know. Somebody sent it to me. They liked Cluster Fudge, so I used it.
I thought it was your face for a minute. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find the innocent one, but it's hard because this doesn't scrub properly.
Can you please remove the demo Diana one? Thank you very much.
Did you notice I cleaned that up? It's all new. It's been re-edited.
Great.
Yeah, the pause show, that was awesome. We were on there this week. Got to talk a little bit about our perspective on basically CG. So there it was.
And we also were on Georgia's show on Saturday.
Yes, and
that was fun.
Date night, we actually sat there and watched The Shadow with them.
I was working on things, but it was fun. It was I didn't really follow the movie that much just because, don't touch demo.
Amen. So there is our little creepster. That is Nasser and Stu's book. And I just like the little fur ball. So I drew him, I don't know, probably 3 weeks ago for fun.
Yeah, you did.
And I threw him in the video because what the heck? I want to see their book succeed. It's doing quite well, by the way. Our book is doing well, too. It's not as big of a production, but we have funded.
It's not?
Yep. Last I checked, we were at 555, which, I'm quite happy with. I know that, there could be bigger numbers, but I'm very pleased to get this dark horror story, this crazy story funded. You know what I mean?
And it is a crazy story. You're right. It's very crazy.
Just to be able to go ahead, Rick. What's up, brother?
I was just gonna say, and you're gonna leave it up for the store portion, right? You know,
Well,
since you're
I believe she's going to do in demand, but if she doesn't,
Yeah.
it will appear on HeroShack.com in the store there,
Mhm.
which we haven't really done a lot of talking about, but the store is up, merchandise is on, and Diana has a system that we believe works. She's set up the retail. And
What are you talking about? On our website? Yeah, it
Yes.
works.
Ah,
It's
look,
very
there she
simple.
goes. Yeah, it works.
It's no, it's very
Amen.
simple. You click on what you want, and it brings you to the next page, and you pick out if it's a t-shirt, you pick out the size. It comes right to me. Yeah, and your funding, I think I have it set up for like a debit card or credit card. I think PayPal too. I'll have to check that out. Chris, where are you going? You just left me alone. Well, I'm really not alone because you guys
Since
are
we're
all
talking, and
Yeah.
since Cluster Fudge is funded, so we don't have to fully shill. Like, guys, if you buy a book, let us know. We'll spin the wheel. We have
Yep.
that queued up.
Where you can win T-shirts, copies of some other books that we have. What else did you put on the wheel today?
I wanted to show the prototype. Now his leg fell off because
Yeah.
we're still learning. But this
Well,
is the
I
prototype.
used
Fusion
and his eye apparently seems to be see-through too.
Yes,
No, well, that's the green screen.
that's the green screen. It's see-through,
Yeah,
but the eye is green.
I know. I'm
Sorry.
just being weird. I knew exactly
Oh
what
my
was up.
gosh! Like,
You got me,
what?
dude. But yeah, so this is the prototype.
Yeah.
And this leg is falling off too. But we figured now that we're understanding the process, we're going to attempt a
Well,
better press system. This was
I
done with-
know what it was. I told you I used my little travel iron because I didn't want to go down to my office to get the big iron because I was doing it late at night. And
Honey,
so I
you're so
used that.
reluctant. This is a device that can do this. The press is made for custom pro stuff.
Yes, I know, but that's why it's like I didn't expect him. He does this to me all the time, you guys. He always like you didn't tell me you were gonna. Why do you have to do that?
Because
Yes, I
the
have
other
a
two are
very big
staring at
iron.
me. The other two are
Huh?
staring at me.
Yeah, because they're ready to go. I gotta press them.
I know. Well, see, Timothy, we actually bought a press which does T-shirts and all sorts of stuff, but it's a device that would do this perfectly. We just have to adjust the temperature properly. So we have to find out what the proper temperature for fusion beads are and then set our press to it because it's that sensitive. We can set the temperature. And then we just have to do it and see how it works. I think it's going to give us a nice flat press that's really solid.
Somebody who might know is I think her name's Eagle Rider, or at least on what's the name of it? Because she was on Wise Guy's channel the other night when I was on there, and she does the beads. She does all these small little bead things. They're on some sort of they glue on somehow.
Well, you guys know, yeah, well, I'll show you. We have a friend who inspired this, and we haven't seen him in a while since the since the convention in Connecticut.
Right.
Bit happens. I'm just trying to find his little. I have a video clip in here still for him, but I thought it was in the beginning. By the way, if you didn't notice, if you watched the pre-show, I plugged Tism Schism Friday nights, 10 o'clock. I just want to plug it again.
You did?
Yes.
So are we going to be doing? You're going to be doing that on a regular basis now?
Oh yeah, every Friday night at 10, I'm going to go on with my tablet, and whatever happens, happens, bro. I'm all for it.
And that means I get the TV,
Oh, well.
and I can watch my shows.
You get the remote, Diana.
I
You
get
have
the
the
remote.
power.
I'm super excited because I'll get the remote, and I can watch what I want to watch instead
Well,
of
truth be
listening
known,
to-
she was having a blast back there. She was listening to us, laughing at us and stuff, which was good for me to hear because I was like, well, at least it sounded fun to somebody.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like you guys were having a great
She
time.
now holds up. She now holds up the remote and says, "By the power of Nism Schism."
No, it was nice to hear you guys having a really good conversation, and I just thought it was a good thing. I'm like, I know Chris enjoyed it, so if Chris is happy, I'm happy, right? That's the way we
Typically,
roll
that's the
around
way it
here.
goes. We're kind of like that as long as we're happy. Although I'm a little bit more selfish than she is at times.
I didn't say that.
No, but I'm being quite open and transparent with the public. They obviously can sense it because I am kind of weird. I kind of wear everything on my sleeves. You know what I mean?
So why are we here tonight? Why are we doing this stream
We are
on
here
a
because
Sunday
we are
night at
closing
8:30?
Cluster Fudge 2. And in the
Yes.
process, we're going to talk about a little bit about our next project, which is Cyclopean 3.
Yep.
Already in
So-
the can. That's the Great Cyclopean 3.
Yep.
So how many hours does it say on the campaign? How many hours?
We have about 7
7
hours
a few
left.
weeks ago, yeah.
7 hours.
Okay, this is going to be a long stream.
Oh, no, we're not
I
going the
am
whole way.
not doing 7 hours.
I have to tell
Nice
you guys.
try. You guys are so silly.
I want to promote. I want to do something a little bit different because I also want to promote D&B have a very special stream tonight, and I don't want to get into it in this show, but I recommend everybody check it out at 10:30. I think it's going to be very relevant to a lot of the drama that we've seen on YouTube. And yeah, I just recommend it if you're interested in finding out what's really been happening. It's a good place to go. So here we are. We're at 555.
Yep.
111.
Can we get a 600? I'd love to get to 600. That
You know
would be
what?
cool.
I would love to too.
So that's only a few books away.
Right. So
Well-
it's up to you guys. Most of you have probably already backed it. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping maybe by the end of this month, end of November, I'll have the money to switch out, or I'll probably end up having to buy the new package because you'll probably have already delivered my digital.
Yes. And by then, actually, I will say this, and this is probably not the best sales tactic in the world, but if you
It
miss
never
this,
is.
Cluster Fudge 3
Terrible.
is right after Cyclopean 3. So within probably January or February, we'll be releasing Cluster Fudge 3, which will also be able to get the whole package when we do that. I have to make a decision. I'll probably redo both the covers for that edition because what I'm trying to do is show a difference for each campaign. So like if you picked up Cluster Fudge 1 when it first came out, you got the original cover. If you picked it up on the second time, you get a new cover and an original 2 cover. And then on the final one, I'll have a whole, whole series.
Excuse me, my mom was trying to get in.
I thought so. I shut up so she could say hi. Hi.
Hello.
No, a pigeon laid an egg
Oh.
in that one you knocked over.
Oh. Nobody really needs to hear about this, mother.
Hey, moms know what's right. They're cool.
There you go.
Lorenzo, did you see my new little video piece on
No, are you?
Go ahead.
Now, I was about to talk to her, and I figured I should mute myself first. So,
Yeah, I think I can find this pretty easy. The Lorenzo clip.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
probably didn't. Here we go.
All right, I'm just going to turn it up. So I heard. That's about it. That's the new video I added. It's same clips. I just added the byline. Because I'm hoping that's the reality. I'm hoping you're back Thursdays.
coming back to Thursdays.
So I heard.
So I heard.
It's quite obvious that you have fans.
It's so
sir.
funny.
You need to address the issues that the fans have. We need to see our Sleep Stacking show back on the air. And I'm putting
No
you on-
pressure. No
yeah,
pressure.
I'm
there.
just totally evil, aren't I?
Yeah, pretty
Lorenzo,
much.
put the show back on.
Oh my god.
But that's how I am right now. I'm feeling very supportive and very excited, and it's been this way for months now. And I'm just like, I miss my Lorenzo show. We got other shows we can watch. Cross Comics, and we can watch.
Yeah, although you never seem to be there in person to watch it.
You know what? I kind of made it Saturday, sort of late.
It's terrible.
I fell asleep literally right here in this chair, waiting on 2 o'clock. after being on George's show, and it was like, I don't know. I just kind of.
I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to say. I remind him, I do remind him.
Hang on, we have breaking news. We have breaking news.
Okay, breaking news. What is it?
The Slee Stacking channel link is now in the chat. It has been shared with the American public and perhaps internationally, depending on who's watching the show. Rick, can you see that link?
Yeah.
It's international, folks.
Lorenzo, you've gone international. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, but I know my show is either. There's my mom giving her 2 cents without knowing what's going on. But yeah, I know my show is either A, too early for Chris because being at noon in the middle of the day, he's at work, or it's 10 o'clock at night and he's just about to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Or he's already sleeping.
We are working hard to improve and increase our distribution and our sales with the ultimate goal of doing this full time. And at that point, I'll be in a whole different realm. And I know that because when I was sick for the last 2 weeks, I did get a little bit of a taste of it. And we could definitely work this if we have the sales go up enough. It's not a problem.
Well,
it's just a matter of time and effort,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hey, thank you. Intense. Get the subs going.
Yay.
Because that goes back to the belief that it's a rising tide raises all ships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, heck, I got 3 new subs, or 4. Well, I got 4 and then I lost 1, so down to 3. So I'm at 693, which is cool. Which I haven't been there in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slowly going up and up on my YouTube channel, and
that's good.
I want to build my Rumble channel too. So
yeah,
I'm trying to build both channels.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you most of my subs are what they would call dead subs. And I'm not ashamed of that. I leave them around. Like, I don't dump them intentionally because if they haven't done it, maybe they'll come back to the channel someday.
Well, you can't dump them, as far as I know. Only they can come and not subscribe.
I could go block them, and I think that dumps them. Like, if you block them and then unblock them, I think they get removed from your sub list. I'm not positive. Used to be that way a long time ago.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't have a list of who every single one is. You have a list of some of them, but not all of them.
Maybe I do.
Hey,
no, you're right. I don't.
I know what the list. I know what it's like behind the scenes, and you do.
But just that like they're there, and some of them have come back. Some of them have come in this very show and said hello and stuff. And that's not this show, but this stream.
Right.
And that's cool. It's just that. When people see it, sometimes they misunderstand what it's about, and it's just really about what we used to do on that channel, and which is dramatically different than what we do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's almost like imagine a rock band going country, and the old fans, a lot of them don't come around anymore. It's just simple as that, and I'm okay with that. It's not like a forced thing. It's all about entertainment. And we aim to entertain.
Well, thanks for the subs from you. Intense says, laugh out loud. Why would you block a sub unless their name is T ... name?
And I know some people will get on the matter, but it's really just to that point, and it's going to fade. Everything does.
Wow.
But right now it's a little hot on the coals, so that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to feed it, honey. I'm just trying to acknowledge it without getting too deep. Because I don't deny it. What's that, babe? I missed something?
I just Intense Web said that the unmentionable one is on Critical Blast show right now.
And getting trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
trashed.
He gets around and he tries to, the thing is, I'm gonna tell you guys because you're all my friends and we're just us.
And
but I can't even watch him anymore because just the way he approaches conversations. I'm like, that's his life. It's not my business, but I don't have to watch it. So that's just how I am.
So I'm really excited
Yeah.
because this is the last 7 hours.
Refocus.
Fudge
Yes.
2. And that means that we can go into the Great Cyclopean 3 crowdfunder. I think
That's
we
right.
are going to do it, right? We decided.
Well,
So
I think we are, but at some point we may look at a way to release books without crowdfunding and without
we
like
have to
Amazon thing
market our website in a much higher
Yeah.
frequency than what we're doing. I just checked. So the Hero Shack website, www.heroeshack.com, if you go there, you can literally buy any of our books or any of the t-shirts directly from the website. We do accept PayPal, debit, credit cards, and so you don't have to go through like Teesprings or whatever. Yes, you're raising
I
your
also
hand.
want to say,
like it.
I would
That's
also like
good.
to add that
Yeah.
for those of you who are curious about the first 2 years of my comic making, there are links to free PDFs of the first 2 years of the work I did. That puts it, about a year ago away from what I'm doing these days.
Yeah.
But what the heck, you want to have some fun. You want to check out how things have progressed. Maybe
Yeah.
you're a creator
Yeah.
who's worried about starting. Go look at my stuff and see. You can start at any point. The important thing is to get out there and start doing it, and do it in a way that you can handle. Don't be stupid and make a campaign that's 6 figures and then can't deliver. Take your time, take your pacing. Look for advice. We're all here. Rick's a publisher of sorts. I'm a publisher of sorts. Tim in the chat is. There's a lot of us, and we're not big time publishers, so we know the problems.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is, before you go strictly no Indiegogo or no crowdfunding on your books, wait till you probably got 300 or 400 backers all the time.
Well, really,
Yeah.
depend on the marketing. That'll actually really depend on the marketing, because we're looking at different media solutions for advertising. And if something works, it won't affect the crowdfunding, but we'll automatically start getting. In other words, if it works, we'll overtake it.
Yeah, well, if that's the case too, then if you can get it where you're getting constant orders from things, at that point you all might even have to think of getting your books printed up differently than maybe Amazon. That way you can have
That's
an
our
overstock.
We want to develop that problem. In fact, I've already started looking into newsprint comic books, much like Alterna, but we're just not quite there yet. But I would love to produce a book on newsprint. I think what Alterna does is not only rooted into classic comics, but it just feels right to someone who was raised in the 70s and 80s. When I pick up a comic and it's super glossy, I almost feel like I picked up a Sports Illustrated. And that's just because that's how I was raised. When I picked up comics when I was a kid, that paper was crap, and it still is to an extent. But that's part of the pleasure of it. It's kind of like when you go get a burger from a greasy spoon that you shouldn't, but it tastes so good. It's just what it is. It needs to be in that crappy environment to be that good,
Well, this place has the glossy paper and all that sort of thing. But a good place that I found to get them printed is Mix Them. That's where I got my printed, and they turned out really good.
Yep.
And I believe Timothy got, because of me getting them really good.
I know. That would be our children.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's cool, because you never hear our kids, but we have kids.
Well, they're adults. They're young adults, actually. They're like kids.
But they're definitely ones I would suggest. And you can get a price quote without put in all the variety of things that you want on your book, and get a price quote without even actually talking to them.
That's cool.
That goes back to just not wanting to talk to people. And I'm like you, when I can, I try to do it online. I try to do it through a form or a message. It's like whenever I talk to people, they always want to sell me something, at least when I'm dealing with business. If you update your plan today, we can do this, this, and this. No.
Yeah, that's why I don't even like sending off an email to get a quote for these things. I just want this stuff on your page so I can get an approximate quote. Maybe it's not going to be the exact same, but I don't need you trying to sell me something right now. I'm not ready. I'm just trying to figure out stuff.
Of course, if we're talking dreams, I would love to buy a digital solution to print our own and do what G Prime 95. I can't say his last name, but the Greek artist on Twitter who I belong to his Patreon.
Oh, Papalopoulos or something like
Thank
that.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
But he actually makes his books in-house, like literally makes the books.
Yeah.
Now that's a long and detailed process.
I was gonna say very tedious process.
But as
I
far
would
as
imagine.
a craftsman trade and stuff, I would
Mhm.
love to do that. It's just we would have to make it in order to do that. It would be my own little fun hobby. We'd have to do
Right.
like a special tier for 20 books that I make by hand,
Right. Something like that. Yeah, it would be okay though.
But it would
I
be
just
something you could do thousands of books off of.
Well, we're not there yet, but those are all great ideas. So we kind of got sidetracked a little. I was just mentioning about the Great Cyclopean 3 coming up. It will be on
Yes.
Kickstarter for
Yes.
sure. And I would like to eventually someday maybe move away from crowdfunding, but at this moment in time, it's really the only way we
Well, it's the best way to get
kinda-
sales for us. Unless
Yeah.
we're going to go show to show.
Well, we're going to be at a convention next weekend. By the way, we're going to be at the Kids Con in Portland, Maine. I'm super excited about it. It is a Comic-Con convention geared to children, for children. So we will be there. And yeah, no, we're not bringing Cluster Fudge or any of his friends. It'll just be the Great Cyclopean. And it will be, I don't know. We've never gone to this convention before. So we have no idea. We have no idea.
Right.
what we're
And
walking
generally,
into.
when we're around kids, we do very well. Diane and I both worked or have worked in
We
education
work with
younger
children.
kids. So
We're-
they get along swell with us. It's just you never know what you're going into when you go into a child-only thing or what age group. Like where we might be aimed at 9-year-olds, it could be predominantly 3-year-olds who are freaking out over the Teletubbies, which is fine,
Right.
but you never know what you're going to get. So, it's interesting for us because we've never been to an all kid show.
Right.
So I'm really don't know what we're gonna run into, but I'm excited.
Yeah. We have some coloring books. We're going to do some giveaways. We're bringing the wheel, the infamous spin the wheel. So that'll be fun. But I'm excited because it's our last Comic-Con for this year. Chris and I were talking. Well, actually, Chris is like, I don't want to do it. Chris doesn't want to do anything anymore. I don't want to go to Comic-Cons anymore. I'm like, dude, you don't want to do crowdfunders. You don't want to go to Comic-Cons. How are we supposed to get our
What I
books
want to
people?
do, well, no, it's a common gripe from all creators. What I want to do is just create.
Except for me.
Obviously, we have to do other stuff, but in the meantime, I can complain a little.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can. I do. It's just
It's in your contract. You can't complain.
Wait a minute, I wrote the contracts.
Yeah, and then your wife altered them.
Yeah, she probably did.
He didn't pick up on that.
No, the secret to a happy marriage is your wife knowing how to write your name on a form. Here's my husband's signature, and here's mine. No, she's never done that to me, but she could.
I actually don't do that kind of stuff, but so I was looking for something and I can't find it, so I'll just have to keep looking.
Would you like to tell me what you were looking for?
No, I can't right now until I find it.
Was it something for the show?
Yeah, somewhat. So what's this? Published.
So
did you already do this?
Yes, he was
published
talking about how
24
he's
page
been
black and white
publishing
novels.
too. So
Oh.
basically, we're finding out that we have more publishers here than we knew.
Oh, that's very cool. We're not buying one more piece of equipment right now. No.
I
Okay.
know. Except for maybe an iPad.
So, do you got any plans for things next year, Comic-Cons next year yet, or?
Well, I would like to sign up for some, but I have to talk to Chris about it because he is being a little bit of a challenge about doing
Well,
shows.
I'm thinking about doing a midnight bar tour with the Cluster Fudge series. And then in the mornings and afternoons, we can go do regular Comic-Cons. But, we can go do like a midnight tour. And I think we should go all around the country and just sell comics in bars and in Comic-Cons.
bars and Comic Cons. You don't drink, number one, so
That's
would
why I'd
not
be good
fun.
in there. I would be able not to get taken advantage of.
Hey, I'm sure if you went into a bar, he would drink. It might be pop, it might be milk, it might be juice, but he'd drink.
Yes. All right. So
Well,
let me define that. You
Well,
black and white papers,
help.
you.
Let me help extract more facts. At 52, I only drink when I have to in public because I don't want to be running to the bathroom because I'm so old. I gotta go.
That was way too much information. So,
yes, I agree.
As far as Comic Cons are concerned, yes, we will be doing some. I like the Granite State. We always do fairly well at the Granite State.
First book.
And my first book, I'm in class right now. My professor's not happy with me because I didn't do so well in my last assignment because I didn't read the instructions carefully enough. But I will be working on that. I am working on stuff. I'm working on so much stuff, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Comic Cons. So yes, we are going to do some Comic Cons next year. If I have to hog tie him and stuff him in the truck.
She doesn't have to. She knows what she has to do. You have to go to casino cons.
Yeah, he likes the casino ones because he doesn't sleep half the time and he's up gambling with.
Well, number one. Okay, so let's be honest though. Let's be straight up honest. The biggest problem I have with anything going out is that I don't sleep very well at all. In a hotel, it's almost impossible. So a lot of times, like we went to a bed and breakfast thingy. Well, it wasn't really a bed and breakfast, but it was a weird little motel in Rhode Island. And like I'm waking up and walking around this building, and it's like I'm walking in someone's house. It was like, oh, this is weird. So when we went to the casino, she would be sound asleep, midnight, 12:30, whatever. I go downstairs, and it's alive. So I play a few slot machines. I win a couple of, 40, 50, 60, $100. And I go back upstairs. And maybe I go down again at 4:00 and I go and I lost $20. Oh, well, I've still got $80. That was how the whole experience was for me. I would go down, I'd lose a little, I'd win a bunch. Except for the first night when the one time I did drink a rum and Coke, we believed that I handed a woman a $130 voucher.
He did.
Change.
Totally did. Told her to keep the change. And that's why she looked so happy. Remember, she's like, thank you.
In retrospect, reviewing my memory, yes, I do remember it. But at first I was like, no way. So I ran around the casino looking for a lost voucher because that's what they do when you win on the machines. You get a voucher that says, your balance and et cetera, et cetera. You cash it in when you're done.
Yeah, you don't get it's not real money anymore. And it's not.
Yeah, it's not like you get coins when you hit it and stuff.
It's all like.
So I handed this. And I guess they're used to that. People will hand them a voucher, get the drink taking off the voucher, and a new one gets generated. And I said, no, go ahead, keep the change, because I thought I handed her a $5. I actually handed her a $5 in a voucher. So she was like, Christmas comes early. And
either that or she's thinking, what does this guy want me to do for this money?
Well, if she did think that, I was gone in 10 minutes running around the casino. She was probably like, stupid white guy, what is he doing? I was literally running around looking at the floor like this.
He was so mad. He was so upset.
And I was like, God has humbled me. God has just humbled me. And then he tripled my winnings, basically.
All right, so I'm rating you in now. Follow the pen.
Cluster Fudge 2 now on sale for the
So as far as next year, I know we have 2 books in the works that Chris has already worked on. Stop being annoying. And we will be doing some Comic Cons. I am going to get him to a couple of local libraries for book signings and meet the author kind of thing. I'm setting those up for the new year. And I know he doesn't want to do any. Here he goes. He doesn't want to do any.
I need to ask a question though. These interviews, were these the ones you were putting me in the plexiglass cages so I couldn't harm anybody? Is that the ones you're talking about?
Well, I think.
Sorry.
I think Chris would be better than Drag Time Story Hour.
Listen, you guys have no idea what Chris is like with kids. He is a kid magnet. Kids love him. He's very funny. He's very quirky. He's a lot of fun to be around.
Well, we just start talking, and they start telling me about their video games or their favorite superhero.
Yep.
And I just kind of, what do? You geek out at that point. You're like, yeah, I play Super Mario racing karts. Yes, I've done that. Yes, I think Minecraft is cool. No, I don't do Fortnite. You know why, though? I don't do Fortnite because they've always kicked my butt in Fortnite. And I'm not going to lie. The concept of building they build constructs to defend themselves, and then they get in sniper positions, and they camp, and they have better reflexes.
You know what? I don't even do that. I've played Fortnite. I don't do the constructs. I just get the ammo and all that, and I go for the where you got to be in the end, not to get kicked out. Yeah, and I shoot people. That's about it.
So let me explain a little bit about the Minecraft thing. About 2-3 years ago, as a school project, I determined to get involved in it so I could play the game with children in a club, after school type situation. And as I learned Minecraft, I found out how much it would cost to get licenses for all the students. And instead, I went with a program called Mind Test, which is basically a clone. And what I did was I built a full-scale replica of the school. And, and it was so impressive that we ended up playing it for a year in the elementary school with the grades 1 through, well, actually kindergarten too, but not so much, but 1 through 4. And it was just a lot of fun. To convert a building into 3x3 blocks, it made it a little bit out of scale, but it was still accurate enough that when the children came into the game, they recognized their school, they found their classrooms, they were freaked out because their desks were there. Now, it wasn't customized to the point where they'd walk up and it would say, here's Timmy's desk, but they'd know, wow, this is set up like my classroom and this is where my desk should be and it's here. And it was just great fun, and so I have a big affinity for that game because of how it inspired them, because what they did was I had them build a town around the school. So I had kids building homes and stores and all sorts of stuff, and it was fabulous. We still have it saved, on a server somewhere. And the thing was, we could never release it publicly because it would have ended up being a security risk.
Right.
It was that detailed and accurate.
Well, it was a lot of fun for the kids, and you had a lot of educational features. And at one point in time, before the comics really became the focus, we actually talked about bringing that to different school systems in the area. We've had some of the educators that Chris worked with that were really impressed with the work that he did on that particular game.
I kind of joined an international teachers group about grading it.
And so it was really cool. But like we said, we've moved our focus.
Well, the thing was, the district as an organization lost interest. And we really didn't have the funding to build an after-school program to tour different schools. So the idea got shelved, and that's fine too, because, as people have commented recently, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and if God closes one door, he opens another. So shortly after Mind Test kind of died out, the comic books emerged forward. So it was like one project that was consuming all my time was replaced by another project that was even more fulfilling for me. I'm breathing. Somebody talk.
We can't because you were talking. So tonight, if you decide that you would like to back Cluster Fudge 2, we have our digital wheel. You need to let us know. We are looking at the actual Indiegogo page. And if that person is not here in our chat, but they back it, we'll spin the wheel and contact them about what they won. So on the wheel, I think we have additional books, Chris, right? The Cluster Fudge t-shirt. What else?
Diana, you sent out the t-shirts a while back, right? That
Christopher?
From the Cyclopean one, right?
What did you say?
You sent out the t-shirts for the Cyclopean.
I did, yes. You should be getting it. I know a couple of people have gotten them already, but you're in Canada. Hello, Eric. Yeah, we don't want that. That's kind of gross. Like, who is that person?
I don't know, but they're banned.
Yeah.
There.
Well, maybe you should take the people's advice that have said it instead of putting your StreamYard link in the description.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm going to leave it in the description because I want an open forum. I've always done this. It's just occasionally we're going to have to deal with crap like that, and then I'll just ban them. But that's why I kind of threw the rated R thing all throughout the opening, because I understand that there could be bombs like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to let it deter me.
Right. So, Rick, did you get your T-shirt yet?
No, not yet. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah,
it's got to be coming soon.
It's got to be coming this week because it takes, I think, 2 weeks to get to Canada. They said it's a while. I know that I said.
Well, you know why though, right?
Wow.
It takes a while to come to Canada because it first has to go to Nova Scotia, then they fly it through China, and then over to. It's not a round trip.
No, just stop.
Oh, I see that name, by the way, Jack Crack. I'm not going to let Jack Crack in unless we find out more about him. So, Jack, in the chat, who are you, brother?
Yeah. So, Rick, it should be.
Just because I thought you had sent it out a lot earlier than like 2 weeks ago.
No, I did not send it out a lot earlier. My life got too crazy, and I literally just didn't. I just didn't.
So, honey, Jack is responding in the chat. You make the decision. You're the executive.
Well, I don't know. Jack Crack.
Should we? All right, we're going to try it, and then Jack, if you do something bad, we'll just ban you.
Jack Crack, or he put his helmet.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Jack.
How you doing?
All right, welcome.
What are you, a comic book artist?
Yes, sir. We make comics. Yep.
Yeah.
So, can you make one of the Boston bombing nigger?
Yeah.
So we're just not going to let.
Yeah, we're just gonna. So if you guys want in, and you're friends of ours, DM us on Twitter, or hit us up on Facebook, and we'll get the message, and we'll let you in. I'll do that next time. Maybe I'll take it out. I don't know. I like having the open forum.
I get where you're coming from. Like people. I get where you're coming from, but it should be people that are actually participating in the chat that should come on. And you can offer anybody in the chat and either put it in the chat for them to get. At any time, it's easy enough to get for you to put the link out.
I personally, it's kind of like I kind of side with you only because this is a video chat. In the past, when we've done,
that's the thing that's kind of occurring to me. When it was text chat, it was like,
it didn't matter
something
nasty. It was just like it didn't really matter. But these guys are just doing like really weird things.
Stuff to either get attention or just to try to get something done to your channel.
Yeah.
Well, that could happen if they do that. The Lord will work that out. I might have to deal with some sort of I've been struck down before, and I understand that's a consequence. But
well, it's just like the same people popping in. But this chat is specific. This chat is specific to celebrate the fact that we have funded Cluster Fudge 2.
Hallelujah.
We're very, 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 very excited. I'm excited about it.
And we welcome you all to join us. Since
and
you're on the chat,
if you have not backed the book, please feel free to do so. Chris has I think you have the link in this.
We absolutely do. And you can join in for $5 on a PDF. And there are more packages beyond that.
Yeah, exactly. So... There it
okay,
is.
I'm going to take a chance. I recognize the name. Let's see if it's legit. Ready? I'm taking a chance.
It's me. Of course it's me.
I am hiding a user from your channel.
Yeah, I'm headed over that way too, but if you can get it, that's great.
What are you doing?
I just popped in to say I think you should consider either putting it in a private DM group or like maybe even just make your own private DM group and kind of put people you can trust, because I'm just going to say right now, certain people have put kind of a target on your back for whatever reason, and I think you know who that is.
Oh, I know what reason. That's because they don't know how to handle life. But
I'm just saying because it's just like Vic King does it, and he's had zero problems. So
Yeah,
well,
well,
we may end up
I do it too, or I've done it for quite some time.
Well,
ultimately, I have my convictions, but Diana will ultimately end up overruling me either way.
yeah,
Right.
it's a sad world we live in, but it's just what it is.
Hey, but you know what, Chris? Even at the same time, even with having that private DM chat, you know, you can start talking to somebody in the thing who you don't know, like in the chat, and you can get a vibe for them and say, "Hey, do you want to come on?"
Right, yeah, you can still invite them. Right.
That is
And I've
true.
done that several times. You know, that's how I met several people. You know,
Right.
You know,
it's just me trying to be open and inclusive. But if they don't want to, I have to take precautions at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
One or two of them was one thing, but I just blocked like I don't know how many people, where it just flooded the back room, and I could tell. You know, like nope, don't know you, don't know you.
Are you talking about that one stream like a couple days ago?
No, I'm
No,
talking about
just
right
now.
now. Yeah, they're still coming in.
Yeah.
And
Who's
now
Tony
there's
Bertoni?
Don't let him in. I've seen this one before.
Okay.
And in
No,
fact,
I'm
notice
not letting
it's not
anybody in.
moving.
So this is what's making me crazy. We're here to talk about Cluster Fudge 2 and to hang with everybody who wants to hang with us, and yet we're being bombarded by all these people who are just
So here's the
bored
thing.
with life, or they
Tony
just
had a real name, and I lost it because he left. But you can actually see who they really are. They have to authenticate. So I'm
Okay.
going to start doing that first of all. And if the names don't match, that's the
Right.
first sign.
Right. Okay.
Like, so I'm looking right now. William Johnston seems to be consistent, but I'm not going to let him in unless he wants to talk in the chat
Who's
first.
Disturbed Gods? Anybody know that person?
What?
No, I don't
Disturbed
know.
Gods? I don't know who that is.
That doesn't sound like somebody
Thank you,
you want
Intense
to put
Webs. I appreciate that. It was an interesting campaign because we didn't have to shave our heads, which was something we've done before. And I don't know, it just went really smooth. We didn't push it hard. It was a flexible goal.
Yeah.
By accident. It was our first.
That would be me. I
but
did
it was
that
actually
one.
kind of interesting because I lost the need to intensely pursue the funding, and it just made it kind of more relaxing. Whenever we put up a goal, I always get really emotional when it's like every creator must feel this, but during the middle of the campaign, they tend to go dry. And it's like, oh Lord, But this was much less stressful.
Yes, it was less stress. I can't even speak. Less stressful. The whole point of us doing the crowdfunding is to get the books out there, get the stories out there. You know, it's not like, oh, hey, this is the only source of income that we have, and whatnot.
Right. So for us, there is that whole component where, like, we have friends who are doing it for a living, who have to make that money. Where for us, it's a much more relaxed environment because we're not pushing it that hard.
Right. Well, and eventually we will. In the class that I'm taking, actually, I have to come up with a query letter to a future publicist for the book that I am working on. That is a great question. Cluster Fudge has funded. What are you going to do next? Terry, I think you might not have been here. We have the Great Cyclopean 3 that will be launching probably the end of next week. And we also have Cluster Fudge 3 that'll be coming out after the holidays. So I know those two books are coming.
Unfortunately, I can pretty much guarantee, no matter what, because of the timing, Cyclopean 3 won't be available for Christmas. It's just the timing, and we could have done it a little sooner, but even then, during this next 2 month stretch where the way that deliveries are going, you really can't guarantee it because it could go out 2 weeks and still be sitting in the darn mail. So like everybody, you kind of gotta take your chances. If you order from the website though, we pretty much have all that stuff in stock and we can send it out, personally. So it makes it a little easier, but when you don't have the stock, you have to order it, whatever it might be.
Right.
Particularly with a crowdfunded book, I just don't see it happening by Christmas.
Of course, I missed the reference. I always miss the reference. My book is not going to be ready. I
think the reference was bless you. We were supposed to say we're going to Disneyland.
Well, my question is, after you get Cluster Fudge 3 and
not funny, Chris.
after you get Cyclopean 3 and then Cluster Fudge 3 and Cyclopean 4 done, what's
Yeah.
after that?
Well, I don't know. We're talking to with you and Timmy about Timmy.
Timothy
about doing a couple of crossovers or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So
I've actually written the first page for the Cyclopean Canadian Shield one.
Yeah, you guys are a little bit ahead of me, but like I've heard Tim's got some ideas too. But hopefully we can squeeze that in. It really all depends on what happens with the books that we're working on. If they start getting bigger than I can handle, then I have to my hope is bring in some more talent to help me with that stuff, but we have to see how it goes.
Well, the only reason I ask is because you're obviously not going to have Cluster Fudge 4, and you seem to be going back and forth between the two books. So it's what book do you go to after?
Well, here's the thing:
for doing a thing on Indiegogo, or will you move Cyclopean over to there?
Fudge. Remember, Cluster Fudge was going to be one book. Then I was told to make it 2. Then I was told to make it 3. I may get somewhere in 3 and have my editor look at me and say, "No, 60 pages is enough for a book. We're going to go one more issue." And I can't guarantee either way because, it's such an interesting story that I could drag this out for 10 years, but I have to pick a stopping point and make that it. But it's so weird because Violet is going to have a lasting role in our universe. And the more I think about the Cluster character, he can't entirely end here. He won't be the old man. He won't be that guy. That guy is definitely ending at the end of the miniseries here. But there's something that I'm considering about his body that I don't know if I can resist. And I may end up writing something about that as well. And that sounded a little strange out of context, but I have a good idea on how to play with that if I decide to go that route. And that character would also be incorporated into the Cyclopean universe. But obviously these characters would have to be toned down. Honey, what are they doing?
I'm sorry.
They sound like you're right outside your door slamming it.
They're using the facility, which is next to my office. So sorry, I'll mute myself.
It sounded like a herd of kids.
Yeah, and she was claiming they're young adults. Now I lost my train of thought because that was so disruptive.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. That was so disruptive. Give me a break.
So where were we though? What were we saying? We were talking about Cluster Fudge and where it could end.
You were talking about.
I would be more than happy to have like 100-page issue 3. I just don't know if that's.
Do you really think it's going to go that many pages?
With the art and planning,
come on now.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm the editor, and I'm learning how to edit even better.
Well, the last thing you had was to cut the book in half and make it 2 books.
Great. I have my red pen ready. Too bad it's on the iPad. I can't even.
Although there is the possibility. Listen, there is the possibility of releasing issue 3 and 4 at the same time.
We could. That'd be fun.
So why wouldn't we just make like a double-sized 3? I'm trying to get you in a corner.
Because it would just fudge things up, Chris.
It would fudge things
But now, so here's another thing that we're going to be doing next year. Because we did this with
have we talked about this? I like when he does these.
Yes,
so here's another thing we have. Okay.
But we've discussed, or we've done this with 2019 and 2020, and 2021 will be the same, I think.
Yeah.
We'll condense all these issues into our version of a trade paperback. And then when we go to conventions, we can actually have the current things we're doing in 2022, as well as the 2021, 2020, and 2019. The bigger books just help in inventory and help in terms of, not having to carry that many books and still being able to represent.
Some people like to get the whole story.
Yes.
You know, like if you have like, you know, Great Cyclopean 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, it might be nice to get the whole.
I could see doing Cluster as a trade after you're done all 3 or 4, whatever it is, of this particular storyline.
Well, it's actually weird because we've done it with every year that we've done, and they don't sell tremendously well, but they are cool. People dig
Well, it's a
them.
nice option, I think.
Right, and it
We still
keeps
have
the
the singles
focus on our new
available.
books.
Uh-huh.
Because what we did with the old books is we put them out with it, and people get distracted. They're like, "Well, what's this one? What's that one?"
Too many.
When you put them all in a collection, and like I want to try the hardcovers, by the way, I can get hardcover books done now. But when you put them in a collection, it is like a digest. It forms, like Diana's saying, a complete. Like you can say, this is definitely everything that happened in 2021. Here it all is. The only thing is we do separate from adult and children, so I think we'd end up having Cluster Fudge in a group book next year sometime.
Well, I'm thinking that because most of our books you have more than just one, the only one that's a standalone is Last of the Reapers. Really? Right?
Yep, and that's been interweaved in the universe in its own.
Right.
Because I keep using that concept of the Reaper.
So whether you make another one that's Last of the Reapers 2 or whatever, I don't know if that's even in your
No, Last of the
horizon.
Reapers 2 could never happen.
Right, that's what I thought.
It's a fictional story, and it actually has a true end.
I'm laughing at Timothy and Intense Webs. They're making jokes. The banana hammock. Oh my God, I can't even.
Do you remember when Krista did Banana Phone? She did an
Yeah.
animation of that silly song.
Do you know that I still have people in my circle of acquaintances that ask me, do I have a copy of that? I don't have a copy of that anymore. They want to just say,
Online, I'll have to find it for you and send it to you.
Yeah, it's really
Maybe I'll
cool.
include it on Wednesday night's pre-show.
That would
video.
be fun. That if you found that would be super cool. Krista is our artist, in-house artist, illustrator, phenomenal talent. We've been talking and working with her, trying to get her out here. She's a little on the quiet, shy side, but one of these days you'll be able to actually see her work. I think one day I'm just going to throw it up there, Chris.
Yes, we will. We're going to just get it and throw it
I'm
up.
just going to get to that point where it's like, all right, enough is enough, young lady. You've had your time. And start sharing the links for her Instagram and all of that stuff.
You know, the title for this show is very misleading.
What's the title of the show?
Cluster Fudge 2 Final Hours. Or you could say Cluster Fudge 2 Final Hours.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. And again, this is why he has an editor.
It's clickbait. It's clickbait.
It's clickbait.
It's intentional clickbait.
No wonder we're getting all these people Cluster Fudge 2. They're like, what? What kind of a name is that? I gotta check it out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Cluster Fudge 2 is part of a 3-part series. It's the second book in the series, and it's about a superhero that worked for the government, had a great career, retired,
he's an old man.
had his family die.
Yep.
Then the truth started melting out of his conscience. The evils that he had done over and over as a super special agent have come back to haunt him as personal demons that stalk him in the night and in the day too, I guess. And ultimately in issue 2, we are finding that he is going to trial for this. Dun, 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 dun. It also includes cosmic beings with spaceships. It includes a little girl who has amazing powers of her own that you haven't learned anything about, and an old man who just can't die. He heals consistently. So yeah, check it out. It's $5 to get in on the PDF level. Our biggest tier is $300, including original art from the new Cluster Fudge issue 1 cover. And that is my sales pitch for the moment, honey. You want to take over?
No, that was perfectly fine.
What's this about, Space? It's mainly about closing out Chris's comic book, Cluster Fudge 2, and whatever else we want to talk about.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did type that in, but Chris was talking, so I was unable to jump in because I didn't want to interrupt his little spiel. But yes, this is a specific stream to talk about Cluster Fudge 2 and other books that we have done. and just to hang out with some of our amazing friends here. There is a vice versa. Vice versa, I do not know who you are. If you can just
His name is Jose. His name is Jose Rodriguez from YouTube. I can tell that from the stats. I don't know why he's called vice versa. So I'm hoping we can chat with him a little bit in the group chat first before we let him on the air. Because unfortunately, Jose, we've had a couple of bad guests that have flashed inappropriate content, so we're being very cautious. So if you could just talk to us a little in the group chat, we can see if if you're cool or if you're not. I don't know. I don't know how to say that. It sounds weird.
That sounds
and I
so
promise
weird.
we'll adjust this for next
that
show.
Sounds we are going to. I did not realize that he put the StreamYard link publicly. I thought
Honey, I'm the guy who will do anything to.
I know, and I really am not. I don't really like that.
You're nervous because
he wanted to talk comics.
Well, let's let him in and see. Okay.
All right.
How you doing?
You're muted, so you got to unmute your mic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you knew my name. Am I that famous?
No, you know what it is? When you hover over in StreamYard, it'll tell you who the person is that's in your back room.
Somewhat of a security measure.
Well, I hate calling them bad people, but they were coming on flashing body parts and stuff, and it was like,
yeah, it's called porn bombing. Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, we're still getting used to it, I guess. That sounds
okay. I thought you knew me from other streams. I was like, oh, I can't be that famous.
No, but welcome aboard. You just got a little more famous.
That's what I was trying to avoid. I'm trying to enter new streams and avoid the old ones.
We're all about comics here. We're closing our Cluster Fudge 2 campaign on Indiegogo tonight. And we're joined by Rick from Cross Comics, another creator, and we have a bunch of creators in the chat.
Yeah, lots of very talented people.
Are you a creator yourself?
No, I'm not that talented, but I am a fan of comics. Awesome. Mainly the dark ones like Spawn, and I even venture out into manga. I refuse to watch anime. Like I like Berserk, a little bit of Bleach, just dark themed comics like that. Sandman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Cluster Fudge was called the most, the darkest comic ever reviewed on well-read reviews for what that's worth.
I don't know. Berserk had a couple of rape scenes in it.
Yeah, this one, the readers thought there was a rape scene with a dead person, but that wasn't the case. It was a misunderstanding. But I don't want to get too much. It was still disgusting what he was doing, but it wasn't necromancy, but they all thought it was. Remember that, honey? That was kind of embarrassing. I was like, oops.
Oh, you mean in the first Cluster Fudge? I don't know where they got that from.
Well, I know where they got it from, but it was just when as a writer, I think I just did not describe it in enough detail.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to leave it vague enough so the reader's imagination can kick in. I just never saw it kicking in that hard.
Thanks for doxing my name, by the way. But do y'all happen to write comics as well, or are y'all fans?
Yeah, we do the whole thing. And I'm sorry if I doxed you. I just figured Jose was kind of like it's kind of common. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's like 12 Jose Rodriguez's up my street. I'm in Texas.
Yeah. Well, I worked with like 3, I think. So.
Could I ask y'all this, since y'all are content creators? How much does religion come into y'all's artwork?
In mine, it's heavily influenced. It's just hidden. I have a really strong faith in Jesus Christ, Yeshua the Messiah, but I don't have a very big religion.
I like that you said Yeshua. So right away, I know you're not Catholic.
Right. No, I am primarily Messianic.
We're like Messianic hybrids, sort of, kind of. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm more on the Protestant lane, but I hear you.
Yeah, we were there. Rick, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, my comics, I try to make them Christian. I tried not to make it so hit you over the head with it, because I am claiming to be a Christian comic company, but I also want mainstream readers to be able to read my comics with feeling they're being preached at.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my take for religion in my comics.
Well,
Yeah, and the reason I asked is because when I read comics, especially the manga comics, there's a lot of Indian influences or Buddha influences, and
Mhm.
in America, there's more like Christianity influences, and I wonder if that even affects y'all as creators as well.
Oh, it definitely does because like it would be almost a lie to say otherwise because my vision of a hero has a moral base based on something similar to what I consider moral. So while my characters may not necessarily come out and preach Jesus as somebody says, an F-bomb in the comic, they will lean towards loving their enemies. They generally lean towards trying to help their enemies. As opposed to like they will kick their asses too, don't get me wrong, but like there's always a outreach in my heart to help people that you're in fights with. So like it's something that I see all the time in my books. It's who I am. Like maybe someday I'll challenge that and write from another perspective that I don't understand as well, but right now that's where I always fall back to.
Yeah, and my second question would be, do dreams have any part of your artistic work at all? Because when I dream some movie scene sometimes, and it's not even a movie that exists. It's just almost like a movie in my head.
Yeah, no, I understand totally. And hang on, let me see. I'm going to add something here. Like, yes, and it's weird because you're asking that. Let me see if I can find, like, okay, so this is kind of how I dream. I always dream in these weird, surrealistic things. And when I draw them now, this isn't direct from a dream, but it's this kind of world where, like,
Well, hold on, you drew that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's from Cluster
Damn,
Fudge.
you're good.
Well, thank you. That's Cluster Fudge 3. It's a little preview that I put up for the campaign in the last week here.
Well, then you should put Cluster Fudge 3 there, not Cluster Fudge 2, Chris.
Well, the logo's promoting the logo's supposed to be promoting.
I know, Rick. I know. You feel my pain, don't you? He's
Yes,
got
I
the
do.
possible cover for Cluster Fudge 3.
No,
and
it's not
he's
going to be
saying
the cover
Cluster
for
Fudge
sure.
2.
For sure, it won't be the cover because I have
It's
something
not
else
the
in mind.
cover, but that is so.
Should be the cover.
Oh no! Wait till you see what I have planned, bro.
But anyways, let's get back to vice versa.
So Cluster Fudge 1 and 2 are both inspired from our minds like that kind of image, and that's something that I've always drawn. Diana has stuff from I think '94 that was preserved, and truly, like I think I did my first.
I actually
head melt.
shared that in one stream that you left me alone.
Yeah.
Rick, were you there?
Oh, 94, Diana, you've been doing this a while, huh?
I am Chris's wife and editor and basically keeper of the crazy man that he can be. And so
Hey, you married an artist. You asked for it.
Yeah. I married an artist and one autistic artist. He's on the spectrum, so it's a little
Hey,
crazy.
name one normal artist.
Yeah, there is no, and our daughter and our son have a lot of artistic capabilities as well. So, it's a lot of fun.
And that is how we look at it too. It's a capability, and I don't mean to sound cheesy, like hey, our handicaps are capabilities. I mean literally, we're high enough functioning where we can coexist without many issues, but it allows us to see things slightly different, which helps in a lot of ways. Like it's not dramatic. Like I'm not going to come up with a cure of cancer while I'm picking my toenails. It's
Right.
not like some master plan power. But when writing a story, for instance, I might view a certain angle of it just enough differently so it helps my writing be more interesting and more unique.
Yeah, but what I was going to was because I'm a music fan, and for instance, the Beatles, Paul McCartney would dream some of his songs sometimes. Like a lot of his songs that we know from now, like Yesterday, Hey Jude, Let It Be, all came from dreams. And I'm wondering if y'all's inspiration ever came from dreams.
I can't say it was ever that detailed for me. I don't know about Rick.
Well, not dreams in that way, anyways. When you sleep, Mine just comes from the dreams of being a big comic book company someday.
Oh, I see.
So your inspiration doesn't come from the dream. So when Chris creates stories, or Rick, when you create, or Tim, that's not coming from a dream. And it sounds like for Jose that you have some pretty vivid dreams. Do you write? Do you write like stories or maybe?
Yeah, I actually do write. I actually ended up burning it. It was 3 journals of. It was basically about a witch mafia that hid behind the scenes and like almost like Bewitched, but R-rated in a way.
Cool.
I ended up burning it though because there were so many plot holes and I didn't want to go back and fix it. I just decided to go and start on new. You know.
Oh no, don't burn anything. I have journals that I did. Oh my gosh, I have stuff that I wrote in high school. I like to write poetry. And my poetry comes directly from my experiences. It's very much based on the things that I've experienced in life. So that's where my inspiration comes from. But
but my story was incurable. There were so many plot holes. I tried to make it like Quentin Tarantino, where there were so many side stories, and at the end they ended up coming up as one, and I was like, nah, I fucked up.
Well, to be totally honest with you, one of the things about 2019 and 2020 for me was I totally rebooted my universe twice because I wrote myself into holes, into corners that I couldn't get out of. And I'm not ashamed to admit that because it's part of my growth. It's part of what I did, and it's actually recorded so people can always see it. But Diana got far more involved to help me avoid such corners because I would get so crazy in my ideas that I would circle back and actually start eating at the plot idea that I started with, if that makes any sense. You know?
Yeah. And I wish I was kind of like y'all. Like y'all have artistic, like I could draw and everything. Like I'm still on stick figures, but I think where I shine is on story plots and writing.
That's really cool.
Well, the great thing is, comics need that, movies need that, even some songs need that. So, you might have to just find yourself a good
You could also
artist.
Collaborate with a artist, whether it's a comic book artist or a traditional artist, depending on what you're looking to do.
Well, both Timothy and Rick do that, and yeah, it depends on where you're getting the artist from and how much experience they have.
Right.
But you can get affordable artists, for I don't know how much a page, or all the way up to like I'm sure thousands if you go to the right professional.
Exactly.
Like I'm sure if I went to someone like John Byrne and offered him $50,000 for a head sketch, I could get it. But if you know what I mean, it's like you don't want to.
Yeah, but to be honest, if I'm paying money, it's no longer art anymore. What I'm trying to find is I'm going back to the Beatles, how John Lennon and Paul McCartney had that, that chemistry together.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if I'm gonna pay an artist, they're gonna look at my work and be like, "What the fuck?" Okay, dude, you just keep paying me. I'll do whatever you want, but it will never have that connection. Like, yeah, dude, I get what you're saying. I'm really into it.
Right.
Well, that's in a way why I do it all myself. Well, number one, we both know, and when I say we both, Diana and I both know how difficult I can be to work with.
He fires me on a regular basis, and I'm like, fine, all right.
Yeah,
who are you gonna
she knows she ain't going nowhere, but she's like,
everything that I do.
Yeah.
Right. End of story.
Yeah. But she silences me and gets rehired usually within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's kind of like Pepper Potts and Tony Stark, except she's much prettier. And I mean, Diana's much prettier. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No. But yeah, it's I don't know where I was going.
I kid.
I got sidetracked.
You were just going that you fire me constantly.
I know, and I looked at you and I just melted.
He does. He's like, that's it. You're not blah, 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 blah. That's it. You're fired. I'm like, okay.
Well,
all right, I'm not really going to fire you, okay? But, you got to do blah, 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 blah.
Usually my upset is so crappy. It's like I'm mad because I don't think she's trying hard enough.
Yeah.
But how she said it was like, you're going to hire me back again soon.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, there's no doubt she's not going anywhere.
But the point is, Chris has this these lenses that he looks at things through, and they have to all line up for Chris to say yes, they're working really harder. And if they don't work as hard as he feels that you need to work, then you're not doing a good job. And that I really feel
when
like
I was in a band, I got kicked out because I was like, we're not practicing enough. And they're like, dude, 8 hours a day. And I'm like,
my
what's wrong with
fingers are
12?
bleeding, please. Like more, we need more.
That's what super glue is for. You put it on those calluses and you keep going.
So he just like honestly, that's just who he is, and that's all good. We've got a good thing going.
My mother and father passed that down to me because they were both like true hardcore blue collar workers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. All my father passed down to me was alcoholism. So that's cool.
That's rough, brother.
Sorry about that.
Not really. I get drunk.
When I started drawing, it was really I drew when I was a kid. But
Well, this is another question. I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
that's all right.
do any drugs influence your art? Like, there's a lot of comics who or even musicians who do drugs to enhance their like creative artistry.
I wouldn't say like currently. I would say that there are things that I draw from previous experiences. Like when I was 21, I remember tripping and watching streets breathe and trees walk and, all sorts of weird hallucinations. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not proud of those days, but that's what happened. I was in a band and we thought we were cool. Thank God I didn't get killed from it. But, like from that kind of stuff, I've drawn like visual ideas, but not like I don't actively go, okay, honey, here's the poppy seed. I'm going to take it, and then I'm going in there with the brush, and I'm going to paint the best picture. Nothing like that. No, I don't know. Rick, do you ever do that?
Oh, never tried drugs. You wouldn't want to see me on drugs. I'm too crazy without the drugs. I can do the tree stuff without trees walking without drugs.
But you see, he's still in the early Beatles stage, and they're successful. And once they did acid, they came out with like weird shit like Sgt. Pepper. So
Sgt. Pepper was actually one of my favorite albums throughout my childhood. I had it on 8-track even. That's how much I loved it.
You're so funny.
The whole album was classic.
So I think this is a really, really good time for you to share the link for Cluster Fudge 2 for the Indiegogo that we are closing.
What, you want to see the window? The link
I
is
would like you to share it so we can share it on the screen so you can show people.
Yeah, and you should every so often, even though it's in the description, put it in the chat. Okay.
Right.
Well, honey, you are an admin too,
But I don't know which window to do. Like, I get confused. I turned the sound off earlier, and he was like, why'd you do that? All right, so this is the Cluster Fudge 2. It has been funded, as you can see. We have 6 hours left for it to be completely finished. I can't scroll down, but we have several tiers. We have like...
All right, hang on. Here you go.
So
Here you
hard
go.
for
Online
me.
Quickie.
Okay, thank you. Go through them real quick.
Online
The
Quickie. Get
Quickie is a PDF.
all the excitement and thrills with the Cluster Fudge 2 and Cluster Fudge 1 digital PDFs. Why did we put 1 and 2 in? Okay, I guess that doesn't make sense. This is also a great choice for those who order outside the United States, particularly those in Europe. They have the worst time getting stuff, I think, in Australia. Let's Get Physical is a $15 book. It also includes the PDFs. And yeah, Diana actually wrote this. Do you like the feel of holding 10 inches in your hands?
I did.
This
I'm
is in
very
reference
proud of
to
it.
the link of the book, The Tithe.
Yes.
We also
What did you guys get your minds out of the gutter? Come on now.
Hey, could I give some artistic criticism?
Sure, go for it.
Sure.
I think it would look better black and white than it does in color.
I've thought about that too. It's just one of those choices we haven't really faced, but I like black and white too, so there may actually be a future in that for me. Quibix. Quibix is a superstar artist out of New Hampshire.
And I'm not trying to insult you. Your artwork is beautiful and awesome.
Oh, no insult, brother. I appreciate the comment because, so for instance, here's Down and Dirty, and this is the black and white artwork that was used in the new Cluster Fudge 1 cover.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get a little ahead of myself, it's down here. If you buy if anybody buys the $300 package, It comes with the original artwork, which is done in pencil on Bristol board.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Diana will be framing it, even though it wasn't put in there.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in the thing.
Right.
Whoops.
Well, you can always still put it in. It hasn't been claimed.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But it's only hours away. You were supposed to do that a couple of weeks ago, I think.
I wasn't. I dropped the ball on that. See, this is why he fires me.
Yes, that is the type of stuff I fire you over, but I can't fire you on the air.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
So I'll just reprimand you.
You've done it before.
I just can't do it anymore. I have to show respect for my wife. She does a great job, even when I get a little pissy about it. Truth is, without her, I'd still be drawing on napkins. So, yeah, that's actually a pretty popular scene right there. He gets his head cut apart by a Grim Reaper. He catches the skull before it hits the ground, and then just simply.
He's like, "Why are you wasting your time?" Please.
Right, exactly.
Please.
Have you refreshed it to see whether it's gone up?
Yeah, actually, I loaded it. So let me just do it one more time. But I loaded it to bring it back up. Yeah, no, it's still at 255. And to be honest, you can tell we're not shilling this like we should.
555, not 255, by the way.
Oh, thank you for that correction. I would have freaked out when I realized that I said the wrong thing.
I know. That's why you keep me.
No, I keep you because I love you.
Mm-hmm. And that too. But, yeah, so we haven't had any backers. We haven't been able to spin the wheel. I wanted to spin the wheel.
That's true.
Oh, well. We do a thing where...
do you want to see the wheel while we're talking? I can look it up again.
No, you don't have to do that.
I already tore it down like at a convention.
Yeah, that convention's like, here, we got 15 minutes, or let's start taking things down now. I'm like, what? Stop. Don't do that.
Can you help people who are new at this? And what is, without spoiling anything, what's the plot behind your art?
So in Cluster Fudge, the whole entire plot goes into basically deconstruction of a hero, total absolute annihilation of said hero, and then redemption, which is just boiling it down to the very core principles of what I'm telling. There's like 3 or 4 subplots that if we wanted to explain it properly, each one could be the main character. But ultimately, the main character in my mind is Cluster.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the story from Violet's perspective, she is the main character. If you look at it from the Silver Scribe's perspective, he suddenly becomes the main character. So it really depends. It's written in such a way that I know people who get like a favorite character out of the 3 of them, and I've heard not enough of Silver Scribe, or I'd like to see more of Brutus. I've heard a couple of different comments, and I'm like, yeah, well.
And do the fans comics encourage you to be like, all right, I'm gonna make a story plot for this guy who people who feel left out?
Yeah, Cluster Fudge 1, I was actually considering not revisiting. There wasn't going to be a 2. And then the fans inspired 2. And then, because I already knew where 2 would go, when I heard multiple people speak on different issues, it actually affected the way that I decided to do 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only thing about my process is I'm ahead of myself now. So by the time we start getting comments on 2, 3 will almost be done, and it won't affect it the same way. But it was interesting because when I heard what people had to say about it, I sort of saw where I could redirect and repoint things to where I really wanted them to be, as opposed to where the perception had gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun in that sense.
And do you relate to any of your characters? Or a better question is, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, brother, that's a tough one. I think I would just want to inspire peace and love. And I know that sounds cheesy, but there would be no better power than to face the most aggressive, violent people in the world and just be able to stop and suddenly be at peace for however long I need to focus and just talk them out of you don't have to jump off that bridge, or you don't have to hit your wife, or you don't have to rob that person, whatever it might be. But if you could have
that's very enlightening. The best superpower is not having a superpower, but having good morals in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it would be in my mind because I've seen the show Invincible, and that guy on Invincible, what's his name? He beats the hell out of all the heroes and kills them. That would be my fear if you went for something like, oh, I want to be omnipotent, because power could, that saying, total power corrupts totally.
Mm-hmm.
I would be really
power corrupts and absolutely power corrupts and absolutely power corrupts absolutely.
There you go. Thank you. But
who wrote that quote, by the way? Wasn't it a president or something?
I don't know.
Anyways, what my ideal if I could be artistic like y'all, my ideal comic would be depressing. My ideal comic are people having these superpowers and it goes great, but it becomes a curse after a while.
Oh, I think you might actually like
they almost wish that they didn't have that superpower in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're a candidate, brother. Maybe after the campaign, I might be able to send you a PDF or something if you can't afford it, because that's actually.
I can't afford $300 right now. I'm going through court trials.
The 300, like we have the $5. We have the $5.
No, he's talking about the $5 PDF.
But no, I'm saying like maybe.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, we have it there, but the thing is, I think you'd like it. This is kind of it's kind of made in that kind of vein.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say too much because obviously we're
no spoiler alerts.
Right.
But for instance, like a typical superpower like being invisible.
Yeah.
Like he's so good at being invisible and he likes the power, but after a while he sees that no one sees him. Like my ideal superpower would be being somebody new every day, like kind of like Mystique from X-Men, how you could change form and be a new person every day in a way. I would love that superpower.
You should consider starting to flesh that out and writing it. If you have a dream, even if you never do anything with it, start just by scribbling down the idea, and you'll start seeing whatever character you're writing take form. And then once you know who you're writing about, the story might come,
You see, what the problem is that I don't know how to write action scenes. Like if I could draw action scenes, but I don't know how to write action scenes.
Yeah, the way I write them is really just for the artist mind. Like when I write a script, the action scene is just like have A punch B, B fall into wall, and like then because I'm the artist, I kind of have the vision of what I'm going to do. But like I don't know how I would write it. Like the fist hits the jawbone, shattering. Like how do you really write that? I don't know yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm sure a real writer could tell you, and I'm not saying I'm not a real writer, but I'm definitely not a conventional writer.
I met a real writer, and she told me just tell it like if you're telling it to one of your friends, like describing the scene in a way. And I kind of got it, but
that's a great idea, Lionheart. Hello there. You could literally, and that's what I'm planning to do for my book that I'm working on 2 different pieces. One is the Kid Clopian, and so I'm going to sketch out little stick figures and scene, or I'll type up what I want the scene to kind of look like. My daughter is going to be the artist on that one. And then for my book of poems, I am going to, again, I haven't decided if I'm going to take pictures or if I'm going to have Chris and my daughter Krista do some kind of artistic thing.
Can I do impressionist art? Would I be allowed to do that?
You can if you want, but that's not what I'm going to be going for.
Okay.
But I'm also I'm in school for English and creative writing, and I'm learning a lot through my class.
Well, you're trying to go for like the deep poetry, like Jim Morrison did it.
No, not so much like that. My poetry is really based on my experiences. I think it's more geared for women, girls. It's not something you guys would really like.
No, that's cool. Hey, even guys will relate to that.
Like, yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's. I mean, it's down the road. It is something I'm doing. But obviously, helping with our company here at Shack Press and Chris get his stuff out there because the guy just doesn't know like how to stop creating. And while he's doing all that, I'm doing other stuff like.
Well, that's going to be the biggest trick is figuring out how to get me involved in marketing and still creating because obviously, and we've seen this with pro after pro, the more time you spend in streams and doing stuff, the less time you can actually spend creating. Even if you're not on the streams, Diana can tell you that when I'm involved in drama, if I pay attention to it, it will sap some of my energy. Now I sound like an Energizer battery, but it's
dude, keep doing the streams. Because when you do streams, you meet characters, and those characters might influence you to make character. Like I used to hang around in chat rooms and ask random questions, and whoever would make the most unique answer, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this a character based off of this person. You know, almost that cheesy thing. Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? Kind of thing.
And the thing is, Chris, you can start. You can be you got your avatar up here. You can be drawing while you're talking to people, and have somebody like your wife reading the chat so you can answer.
Right. Well, Friday or Tism Schism on Friday nights, I'll be drawing, and I don't know. Diana may have to come into the chat because I may just guilt.
Why?
Well, I'm pretty good. I'll probably be there most of the time, and I can read the chat for you, Chris.
But we do have a problem. Yes, honey.
Cancel JDA said coming to the stream.
I see him there, but here's the problem too. It's 10 o'clock. We have to get off of this because I have to go watch something else at 10:30.
Yeah.
But
well,
do you want to let him in briefly and see what's up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead, allow him in.
Okay, I'm adding cancel the JDA to the stream. I don't know who. Hello.
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
We're good.
Congratulations on the end of your campaign.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's we're having some good fun. I'm going to be streaming on my channel in about 20 minutes.
Awesome.
And Chris, if you want to come on and talk about your book and talk to my audience who you have not been on with yet, that might be helpful to get you a couple of last minute sales there if you want to come on.
Well, so John, I'm going to be honest. I'm not very comfortable.
I know.
I feel like it would
I
be
know. I've been talking with this girl who's been trying to cancel me for a while, and she's been nasty on Twitter. And it's really sad to watch this because I really considered her a friend, and I really haven't done anything to her. So it's kind of sad to watch. But I'm trying to just bring Comicsgate together, just let everybody heal, let everybody be friendly. And I'm committed to that. So, hey, Critical Blast. Hey, RJ in the chat. How you doing, brother?
Hey, RJ.
So, and Cross Comics, my friend there. How you doing, my friend?
Hey.
Good to hear from you guys. Yeah, it's been a lot of nastiness going around, and it's coming from one source, unfortunately. And I don't know what to do about that. I've tried to talk to her in private, because there's ways that this is actually talked about how to handle this a situation like this biblically, and you always try to talk to somebody first. You always try to do something. I always take those steps, Chris. And unfortunately, like there's people who get crazy on Twitter. They just get mad and they start pounding their keyboards and they can't stop. I'm trying to make that stop right now. Stop the cycle, Chris. And I know you want to do that too. You're a nice guy and you got caught up in this a little bit, but I don't think you really meant it, Well,
you and I are in agreement that it's coming from one source, but I disagree that it's Vicky. I really think that Randall is the problem.
His name's Randy.
Well, I don't know what his name is really. Yeah. I just kind of repeat what I hear sometimes.
Chris, that's the problem. People just repeat what they hear. And I dealt with this with War Campaign a couple years ago. Are you familiar with War Campaign?
Oh yeah.
So they came after me hard, and it's because I published my first book with a guy named Vox Day, and Vox Day is a very strong right-wing Christian person, and they called him an extremist, they called him alt-right, all this stuff, right? And they tried to brand me as that, and as they were trying to pivot Comicsgate to be more of a centrist thing. And I get that they want Comicsgate to be apolitical. There's nothing wrong with that. But this group was just particularly nasty. They came after me. Anytime I said anything, they would kind of clip it and then try to twist it so it didn't mean exactly what it meant, and then claim I lied, and then claim this. And they just come out all day, every day. And this is exactly what's going on now to a lesser degree. So I'm trying
that's true. But this is the internet. Even if it wasn't the alt-right Christians, the alt-right atheists are going to troll you. Everyone's going to troll you. This is the internet, bro.
No, not so much. It's really bad in comics, but I'm in a few different circles because I'm a sci-fi author.
John,
the book world is going to like this.
I'd like to apologize for any misunderstanding on my part.
Hey, no problem.
Especially my, I guess you can easily get sucked into drama. Especially yesterday. So I'm going to apologize for that.
No problem. Yeah, I really I sat on this for months, and they just kept going and going and going. There is a point where I'll snap and I'll snap back, and I reached that point earlier this week. But I'm happy to dial it back. Actually, like I said earlier, Vicky, I don't have any ill will against you. Never have. Don't know. I don't know where the one against me came from. I think she's trying to lash out at Testify, like you said, and it's not right to lash out at other people because you're mad at somebody else.
I would also like to say though, I don't think Testify is a horrible person. I don't know him personally.
You don't know, right?
But I do think he also it's like a game he plays with.
What happens is with him is
he gets carried away.
Guys, maybe this is left for off stream.
Excuse me, I'm going to step in. Guess what, guys? This is the last 5 hours of Cluster Fudge 2. It is funded, fully funded. We'd still love your support. Check it out, Chris. Show that link.
Yeah, and Chris, yeah, I'm cool to be friendly with you. So as long as you're friendly.
There we go.
So
well, bro, I gotta like think and calm down a little bit because of course I know that people laugh at it, but I really am autistic, so I have to like kind of chill my pill.
No, I understand.
Yeah, so listen.
Hey, I'm dyslexic, so I can relate.
Hey, brother. I
just wanted to come in and say hi, by the way.
Yeah, I saw you. That's why I let you in because I wanted to let Mike know I see you, brother. But we have to get off of this thing because it's
I just want to come in and say hi, and I did just like and share your stream. So
thank you, brother. All right,
Mike. Yeah, definitely
we'll see you in a few
my
minutes
stream.
here.
Have some fun. It's on John Delarose channel. It's gonna be they're gonna be very angry.
Quite honestly, no, I don't.
Oh well, that's too bad. Have a great channel.
Anyway,
let me just say this, and I don't want to say anything too much more about it. Due to the history I have with Testify, I really don't want to have much to do with him or anybody he's associated with.
Yeah, the association game's kind of a nasty thing, but that's okay. You can have fun with that. Just don't come at me, my friend, and we'll be good.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to step in and I'm going to stop all this conversation. This stream is really just about the Cluster Fudge 2 book. John, thank you for coming in and just saying what you had to say.
Absolutely.
But I don't
yes, back Cluster Fudge. Yes.
Back it. I don't want to sit here now and have a
conversation
about all of that.
I want to apologize if I didn't intend to bring any drama in myself.
Oh, not you,
and
Mike.
you are totally fine.
And really, it's not even John's fault.
It's not any of that. But I'm gonna lose it because I don't want to hear about all this. I want to hear about good stuff. Like we had that young man. Vice versa was just asking some really cool questions. So like Chris said, we've been on since 8:30. We are ready to wrap the stream up. I think, Chris, that's what you wanted
yes,
to
ma'am.
do. Thank you for everyone that has supported Cluster Fudge 2 up to this point. I believe that we still have, I'm checking, 6 hours left. Probably
5 hours.
Less. 5 hours left. I just refreshed it. So it is open for another 5 hours. So please swing on over to Cluster Fudge 2 on Indiegogo. $5. We have a $5 tier right up to a $300 tier. Now, if the $300 tier has not sold by the time the campaign is closed, Chris and I have decided that the original print, the one that traditional original print, is going to be framed.
The original pencil drawing.
The original pencil drawing, traditional pencil drawing art.
Thank you.
Is going to be given away to any one of the physical backers. So if you don't have the $300, we get that. Times are tough for so many of us, but you still want a chance to win the traditional, the physical print. Then back us.
$15 gets you in on that.
Yeah, 15 plus shipping.
That's true. That's true. Exactly. So, guys, I really have to go before I have a hyperventilation here. All right. I'll talk to you all really soon. And thank you. Like she said, we appreciate it. And I love you. And my finger's already on the end broadcast. So